Hi everybody. For school vacation week, spring break, we are having a special program, a special art kit that you can pick up, and it's called Project Art: Learning from the Masters. So I took a look at some famous artists throughout the ages, and I had to pick 3 of them. That was a little bit hard. There's so many good ones, but I wanted you to have an opportunity to learn a little bit about how they produced their art, what it was about their art that made them famous, and then I wanted you to try to see if you can do things the way they did. So the 3 artists that I chose are Georgia O'Keeffe, Piet Mondrian, and Jackson Pollock. So in your one art kit that you'll pick up, there are 3 different kits like this. So let's start with our Georgia O'Keeffe activity. So, as I said, there's some information about her, and you can see this picture right here. And this is called Jimson Weed White Flower. It's beautiful. And those are really, really pretty flowers. Do you know how much this painting sold for? Over $44 million. People decided they really liked this picture. Georgia O'Keeffe was married. She lived a long time ago, but she was married, got married back in 1924, and her husband was actually a famous photographer, and he bought the first studio that Georgia used where she did her paintings. So he kind of helped her gain success. I'm sure with his photography, he was able to take lots of pictures for her that she could then paint. And the story has it that Georgia and her husband Alfred wrote over 25,000 love letters to each other. Isn't that a nice thing to know about Georgia O'Keeffe? So what we're going to do to try her style of art, she 2 things that she liked to do. One of them was she loved flowers. She did some beautiful paintings of flowers, as you saw in this picture. She also loved the Southwest, and so she did pictures of skulls and bones and things like that, and they were really beautiful, beautiful paintings. But I thought we'd focus on the flower part. So our project that we're doing in Georgia O'Keeffe style is called Where Are the Missing Flowers? It says, something happened to the garden of lovely flowers that Georgia so loved. So you have to fill in the missing piece, either by drawing details that are already in the garden, or you can add your own flair. So you'll get a picture. This just happens to be the one I chose. Everybody's pictures will be a little bit different, and part of the picture is missing. So what you're going to do is you're going to look in your kit, and I gave everybody 3 colored pencils, and what you're going to do is look at this picture and see if you can fill in the missing piece. So for this one, these are beautiful roses, so you could draw some red roses and add the green leaves around them. Or maybe in this missing garden there was a little patch of some other kind of flower, or you might want to think there was something else hiding here in this garden. So you can add whatever you'd like, and when you're all done you'll have a picture that's at least part of a beautiful garden. Okay, so that's this kit, and you'll have your pencils, colored pencils that I thought you could use. So that's that one. Another artist that we're taking a look at is a man called Piet Mondrian, and here's a picture of one of Piet's pieces of art, and this one is called Broadway Boogie Woogie, and he did this one back in 1942, and he visited New York City and he loved it. His art form was very linear, drew lots of lines, and primarily mostly used primary colors with lots of white space. So this painting right here says that the yellow in this painting, remember it's New York City, actually represents the yellow cabs that used to be very popular in New York City for driving people around. So to try Piet Mondrian style, I have a couple of different ways that you can do this. A plain piece of paper, and what you're going to do is I included in your kit a ruler. So you'll take your ruler and you're just going to start drawing lines on your paper. All right, so you'll take a pencil and start dividing up your paper. You can do it any way you'd like. Some big squares, some little ones. And that's basically what Piet did. So once you have, and I'm just going to do a few, whoops, that went a little wonky. Once you have your lines drawn like this, what you want to do is take a marker or a Sharpie, if that's something that you have access to, and just go over them, make them a little bit darker. Okay? And for this one, you can take crayons, you can take paints, and I'll show you in a minute. I'm including in the kit some paint. So if you have paint at home, certainly use your own. If you don't, you can use some of the paint that I included in the kit. So here, I just traced over some of them. So what you're then going to do is take your primary colors and you're going to fill in these squares. And so you might do this one yellow, you might do this one red. What's the other primary? Yep, blue. Do this one blue. Just remember, Piet also liked white space, so he might not put any color at all in this one. So that's that way to do it. You can just create your own grid. Another way to do the same project, and there's directions for each of these, whoops, sorry, is to take some squares, well actually these are more like rectangles, and take another piece of paper, and this time it's all about tracing. So you're going to put your piece of orange paper on here, the biggest piece, like that, and maybe I'll trace another one like this, kind of overlapping it a little bit. Maybe I'll put a small one here. The shapes are all connected, so make sure they're touching. I'll do one more, this little one over here. So if you don't want to use a ruler, you can just take these three, and I've just filled it in like that. And then it's the same concept. You might want to color this one red, this is blue, maybe this big one down here is white, maybe you do a yellow one over here. But that was the style of painting that Piet Mondrian did, and he also was very successful. People really liked his artwork. Just as a fun activity, do you know who this guy is? This is Elmer the elephant, the patchwork elephant, and he was quite upset at one point because he was not just one color as all his friends were. He was lots of different colors. So you can use the color block style of Piet Mondrian to color in Elmer the elephant and color him lots of different colors. And remember to leave those white spaces, okay? So that's all in your Piet Mondrian kit. And the last one that we did is Jackson Pollock. Now, I don't know if you know anything about Jackson Pollock, but his work was very abstract. Didn't really have a whole lot of shapes to what he did. He used colors. So in order to do this, you're going to need, especially if you're going to do it inside, you're going to need a box, just a plain box. So make sure you get one of those ahead of time, because this project's a little bit messy. If it's a nice day and you have someplace outside where you can do this painting, I recommend you do it outside. So in here is a picture of what you're going to create. You are going to actually try your hand at making a Jackson Pollock painting. Did lots of splattering. If you want to do some coloring, here's a Jackson Pollock style coloring page. You can add some colors to that. And then here's your project. Inside your kit, a couple of pieces of plain white paper, and you can see I put one in the bottom. So what you're going to do, and this is basically how Jackson Pollock did it, his were much larger paintings, and this is where the paint comes in. And as I said, these are the colors, if you want, that you can also use to do your Piet Mondrian painting. So all you're going to do is you're going to open up your paint, and also in your kit, I think I might have to send my cameraman to get one. Let's see. Oh, there it is. You're also going to get in your kit a paintbrush. And what you're going to do is you want to take this paint and splash it onto this paper. Now, depending on how long this painting's been sitting here, it could be a little thick. So let's try it and see what happens if we just splatter it in there. Oh, it's working. It's not too thick. Oh my, look at it already. This is so cool. I'm going to hold it down like this for a bit. So that's what the red one looks like. Should we add some more colors? Yeah, I think so. This one's fine. So clean this off a little bit. All right. And how about blue? Let's add some blue. So same process. You're just going to dip your paintbrush in the paint, and you want a lot of paint on your brush, and you can tap it on the side if you want. Another technique is you can take the paint on your brush and tap it against your finger. Just be careful because it does travel. All right, so there's some red, there's some blue. You want to put a little bit more blue on mine. The blue's a little thick, so I think I'm going to add a little tiny bit of water to it. Whoops, and now it went into the box. Rats. Okay, there we go. And I spilled a little water in my box, so it gives an interesting technique too. I'm not sure that's something that Jackson Pollock did, but, and lastly, just to give it some drama, let's add in a little of this black paint. All right, ready? I think I'll try the splashing it off my finger technique. Ooh, this one's nice and thin. This one really, oh, I love this one. Oh, wait till you see this. This made some really interesting squiggles. Now, it's cool. It's a really fun technique. Don't look at my spilled water, but oh my, there's paint all over the place here. I have it all over my work surface here, so just be aware of that, that even though it's inside the box, it still will spatter. Look at the paint colors over here. Doesn't that look cool? And you have extra paper in your kit. You can try more than one painting if you do a boo-boo like I did and spill some water. But it's just a chance for you to try painting the way the masters did. And who knows, this may be the start of your career, and you could also sell a painting for multi-million dollars, become rich and famous. So if you do, just remember that you learned how to do this from the Lunenburg Public Library. So there's a sign-up sheet on for you to register to pick up one of these kits. So you can just send me an email and I'll put them together for you, and you can take them home. All three kits. It's a one-stop shopping. You pick up the one kit and it has all three of these different painting kits inside, and you can do them all the same day. You can do one a day, however you want to do that once you get them home. I'd love to see your finished artwork, so if you have a chance to take a picture of something and send it off to me, or come up to the windows of the library, I'm always here, knock on the window and show me your artwork. I'd love to see it. I hope we have a beautiful week and that we can get outside as well as doing these art projects, and maybe you can do your art outside. That's fun to do as well. So let me know if you're interested in a kit, and we'll make sure that you get one. All right, take care, everybody.